Marilyn Anderson is a Los Angeles-based writer, and she's had more than her share of experiences from the dating world. She's detailed them in her book, Never Kiss a Frog. Welcome, Marilyn. Glad you're here. Now, what do you mean by a frog?
Well, a frog is a guy that you're not going to marry. And it all goes back to that myth that so many of us women grew up with, which came from the frog prince. And that was the story where a princess sees a frog in the road, and he says, "Kiss me, and I'll turn into a handsome prince." Well, she kisses him, and he turns into this gorgeous, studly royalty, and they get married and live happily ever after.
But the reality is?
It doesn't happen that way, because I went out when I started dating, and I kissed frog after frog after frog, and none of them ever turned into a prince. Which is not to say they didn't turn into anything.
I'm sure.
They turned into snakes and rats.
You can find a good guy, but if he's a bad kisser, he's a frog, toss him back in the pond?
Right. Well, that's the really nice guy but really bad kisser frog. And the thing is, he can be a great guy, but we're talking about chemistry. If you don't like the way somebody kisses, I don't think you want to spend your life with him.
We bring life to her life.
This is DJ.
And show her how to kiss her very first kiss.
Position, pressure, and pucker.
Since Christina's been sweating her first kiss.
Hi, Christina. I'm Marilyn Anderson.
Hi.
We brought in a special extreme expert.
Yes.
A kissing authority and book author.
I think I definitely need some help in that area.
Whether you're 26 or 46 or 76, women are always nervous about it, and men are nervous too, but you don't have to be. There's things that you want to do to attract a man. So in order for you to practice, I've brought in an associate for you to meet. This is DJ. This is Christina.
Hi, Christina. Meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Now, the way you said hello was okay. You want to say it with a smile and with eyes if you really like this guy. A little more sultry this time. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm Christina. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Christina.
Good eye contact. I like that. Now, a lot of guys are going to want to kiss you. So, again, I think it's great for you to have practice. Your first kiss is going to be very memorable, Christina.
I'm nervous.
It's okay.
I'm nervous, too.
So am I.
And I'm not even doing the kissing. What you want to remember before you kiss is your 3 Ps. Position, you want to tilt your head a little to the left. Pressure, not too hard. You don't want to knock him over. And pucker. You don't want to be a fish.
Okay, this is it.
From San Diego's more local news station, this is the KUSI Morning News.
Why do we like the bad guy?
I think women are just conditioned to do that, but what I'm telling them now, especially since it's the beginning of the year, is to get rid of those frogs and to move on so they can find their prince.
How about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Toad?
Oh, this is the guy who, when you're out in the world or in public, he's always wonderful and sweet and loving. But when you get home and you're alone together, he turns into a mean, cold bully frog.
Oh, kick him out.
And I have what's called a wart warning for these women. If he's got a split personality, you should be the one to split.
Good one.
Sometimes you can tell right away, and sometimes it takes a little bit longer. But if you go to a restaurant with a guy and he yells at the waitress, he screams at the valet,
I don't like that.
The wart warning is, you're next. You can tell how he's going to be.
One of the biggest mistakes women make in dating is that they think they can change a guy.
In little ways you can, but also what's bad is a guy who meets you and wants to change you. I went out with this one guy, and the first 3 dates I thought it was fantastic. But the 3rd date he said, "You know, you'd look good as a blonde." I said, "Oh, really?" He said, "You should cut your hair, and why don't you wear, more subdued colors?" And finally I said to him, "I don't understand. If you don't like the way I look, why do you keep asking me out?" He said to me, "Oh, I'm in real estate. I like fixer-uppers." I said, "This is one property that's about to be foreclosed."
News 8 Austin today.
If there's one bit of wisdom you want to tell the ladies out there, what would it be?
If you think a frog will turn into a prince, forget about it, because it won't happen. So just be good to yourself, and when you see somebody is wrong for you, when you see he's the wrong guy, throw him back in the pond so that you can move on, because you deserve a prince. Hey, we all go through it. It's a universal thing, for women, men, for whomever, and this is just to have a good time while you're going through it. And I do think, actually, that today is a great time for people to be meeting each other, because there's so many ways, whether it's parties or bars or the internet, and I do think the internet is a really great way to meet someone. And if you should meet someone there who's a frog, you just go, reboot, reboot, reboot. and delete his hard drive.
Do you think a frog who loves his mother is worse than a frog who hates his mother?
Well, it depends. Do you remind him of his mother?
Is there a comparable female for a frog?
No, women are perfect.